So Hacker follows a little bit of Wizard from the SRD, but we have this whole new kind of battleground, really, when it comes to information technology and communication technology. The internet has provided such an amazing space and communication method that has just grown like in my lifetime. I'm old enough to remember the days of not having the internet at home, so it provides us for the spy game, particularly as the kind of like the setting is kind of like tomorrow, where the hacker people can, there are different classes, will be able to do basic kind of hacking type things. They'll be able to try and access different systems, or like hack them, or try and install software. But it's the hacker that really knows how to do that, really understands how to get through that. So they can do all sorts of stuff to computer software, security systems, communication systems, all that kind of stuff. The software they get is going to be like a bit like spells. They were built like spells in a mechanical sense. So they do certain things. They work a little bit like spells. So that was the idea behind them. But they're only ever really going to affect the sphere of information and communication technology. So where there is software, you can't hack a person, you can't hack the planet. But where there is technology, you'll be able to work around it. So they're a D6 hit die, so they're one of the squishiest of the bunch. Only proficient in light armor, simple weapons, hacking tools, obviously. And then they get to choose their vehicle proficiency from cars or motorcycles. And then saving throws are intelligence and charisma. And then they can choose 4 skills from deception, espionage, infiltration, infotech, mechanics, persuasion, sleight of hand, and stealth. It's a long list, but there is also quite a lot of social manipulation involved with the hacking kind of stuff. So if it's like ringing up a call center or pretending to be a call center, if you've ever had one of those phony calls from Microsoft that are trying you to get to install a piece of software on your computer, and then show you that there's a bug there, it's exactly that kind of stuff, right? So you start with a laptop or tablet for each mission that has your personal OS on there as well. Then equipment can be a light pistol or a baton. Again, this is when you begin a mission each time, and then only light armor, like one of the packs as well. They're also going to get installation slots, a lot like spell slots, and those increase as they go up the levels, as you can see from these ones. You can see that a lot of the levels, like 15th and 17th, don't have a class feature because they have had the installation slots on the OS increased. So as a hacker, you get access to all of these actions. You don't need a piece of hacking software or a hacking tool to be able to do this. You just need to have you need to be able to access the system you want to get to, and you need to have a device to be able to do this. But it's that like hacking software I see cinematically is where like a bit of software, you punch in a few numbers, you press return, and you let it do its thing, and then you kind of sit there like that. Your hacking as a hacker is you mashing the keyboard. It's like, I'm doing all the stuff, I'm doing it all really quickly, really proficiently, and I'm doing it all myself. Like, I am the hacking tool. That's my kind of thing for that. So accessing a piece of software lets you enter an operating system or break through a password. DC varies on that depending on how many firewalls are installed, and also for the GM of kind of how robust the operating system is, I guess. You can also encrypt stuff. Encryption basically turns plain text into ciphertext. From the research I've done on it, I'm not like an IT guy, I don't know properly, but having looked into it, done enough research on it, basically, if we were to encrypt this rulebook, it would just jumble up all the letters, and the cipher that it uses is what jumbles and unjumbles those letters. It tells you that a P turns into a D, or whatever that is, or a hash, or whatever. The more complicated the cipher, the harder it is to decrypt in the action below. When encrypting information, you choose the difficulty class that you want to test against, and if you pass your test, that becomes the difficulty class to decrypt the data. So yeah, it's a little bit of cinematic magic, but you are the one who does the encryption, and you know that encryption. It is a bit mentalist, it is a bit kind of beautiful mind kind of stuff, but those are the kind of people we're talking about when we're talking about the spy game. Like, they're incredible people, and they're top of their game, even from level 1. So decrypting data basically lets you reverse that procedure. If you have the encryption algorithm, the DC is 0. You don't have to test. Again, it's like a bit of software. You basically punch in a few numbers, let the software do the stuff, and voila, we have a rulebook that we can read. If you don't have the algorithm, though, you have to break the cipher, and that DC varies based on the complexity of that cipher. You can install new software onto the system. Base DC is 5. Quite a lot of the time, I imagine I would rule as a GM that, like, you as a hacker, you're probably going to go in with like an intelligence with modifier of +3 and a proficiency of +2. Like, you can't fail. And it's a controversial thing, but rules as written, a 1 is not always a crit fail. Only in combat, a 1 means you miss. Every other skill test, if you roll a 1, you still add your proficiency, you still add your ability modifier. If you beat the DC, you still succeed. So if the DC is 5, a lot of the time you probably won't have to roll. You install a piece of software, you put it in the right place, you get it on there for what you need. Modify means that you actually go and you rewrite the code, you rewrite the software that's actually on the computer, or the bit of targeted software that you want to think. It may mean that you can disable the function, or it means that you can change up the piece of software in some way. And to start with, I'm leaving this quite open for both GMs and for players to decide a little bit of what that means for them in the scenario they're running. Part of what I'm going to do with the pieces of software, the hacking tools themselves, because they work a lot like spells, I'm actually going to prescribe quite a lot of what they do. I was leaving it a little bit more open, but during some of the beta testing we had on this channel, Oz was saying to me that it was a bit difficult for someone who wasn't so initiated in like a kind of IT to figure out what all this kind of stuff meant. So it is very much going to kind of be like, you know, attack a password and do 5 coding damage to it and that kind of stuff. So it's very clear to players, even though they might not know too much about this kind of stuff, what it all means, you know. You can disable software as well by sabotaging its code and switching off manually, so you can get into some of the kind of operating system itself and like just disable and stuff. You can delete, which means you uninstall some software that you have that you can see on the operating system that you're attacking. You can also attack. So this is a little bit more abstract, but basically, operating systems themselves will have an AC and hit points like objects do. Firewalls, so everything from like anti-piracy software to a password is a firewall technically. You can just attack their code. So you roll an attack using your intelligence and proficiency against their armor class and hit points. And then successful attacks do 1d4 coding damage as per kind of those attacks in normal combat. The first level, you get a personal operating system, so you get that like laptop device or tablet or whatever, and it contains 2 first level hacking tools of your choice. And then you get more installation slots as you go up levels. It's where you keep all your cool hacking tools, basically. Like I said, it has armor class, it has hit points, it can be attacked, you can be like typing away, hacking something, and then there's another hacker on the other end typing away and hacking, and there's that hacking fight that happens somehow in cinema. I wanted to capture a bit of that, even though we know it's a bit silly. But I thought that'd be cool too. So your computer can be attacked too, and that's the vulnerability of actually being kind of connected to another device. Your hacking ability is a lot like the kind of spellcasting stuff. Your hacking save difficulty class is 8 plus your proficiency plus your intelligence modifier. Your attack modifier is your proficiency plus your intelligence modifier. And when you make a hacking attack, you do not add your intelligence modifier to the damage. That's the like spells as well. Install new software as you go up levels, like we've said. The hacking style, you actually get to pick at second level your archetype. A bit different from the other classes so far. Your ability score improvement and your equipment upgrades are happening as normal from 4th level. And then Eidetic Memory from 18th level, you have developed your cognitive recall to the degree that you can retain detailed, specific information about subjects and stuff you've researched, or situations that you have been present in. So this is like the kind of Sheldon Cooper of Big Bang Theory kind of stuff. Eidetic Memory is basically like photographic memory, as it's otherwise known. It's like you never forget something you've learned or something that you have experienced. Basically gives you that kind of easy question to the DM. Do I know this person? I remember this person. What exactly do I remember about them? And you guys can negotiate on that about pertinent information that you should know. And then the excuse me, top tier Advanced Persistent Threat 20th level class feature. Advanced Persistent Threat is a term used in the hacking world for a whole team of hackers persistently attacking a system. So they're taking it in shifts. It's a whole team of people. And what this class feature does is it kind of takes that and it makes it look like your hacks are performed by a team of people. You are that proficient that you are taking on the work of like 2 or 3 people. So you choose 2 third level hacking tools as your signature tools. You can use these even if they are not installed on your operating system. During combat, when you succeed a hacking action, either of these tools can be used as a bonus action. So you're so good with these new tools that you just know how to use them. Like, balmy, but cool. And then the 2 styles on offer for hacking styles, the Kickstarter, are going to be Black Hat and White Hat. Black Hat is a term used in the hacking world for the bad guys, for people who maliciously go out, hack systems, fish for your details, and that kind of stuff. And so basically that's all about actually digging in and hacking. Script kiddie is a cool term for someone who, say, like, I'm not a good hacker. Say if like I decided I wanted to hack something, I would have to like buy a piece of software to do it for me. So a script kiddie basically lets you do that. Install 1 level hacking tool of equipment for half its cost, and that's all about getting into systems. White guy style of hacking is all about helping defend against hacks. So from software updates, tracers, freeware in this 6th level thing, and then testing for kind of hacking attacks at 10th level, and system forensics at 14th. It's all about defending attacks, defending hacks from external places.